Okay, in this video I'm going to show you more about what's under the cover and the setup in there. Let me just take off the top cover here. Set that aside. And I'll camera here. Alright. So, here's how the exhaust system works. So that's those are flexible 90-degree elbows. They're for stoves or dryer vents, but I got it at Ace Hardware, and there's two of them put together so you can rotate it around and really get it to go into any configuration you want, and that worked out pretty good because then I could go right down the middle of the back. Oh, I didn't want a muffler hanging out, so this works out nice. It's not actually attached to the engine. It just directs the gas flow. So when the cover comes off, it comes off. And I thought about making, welding a pipe, which some guys have done. That would work real nice. But I actually got this idea from Steve Cameron. He was talking about it on one of the videos of his Cyclekarts. So I said, I think I'll try that. So then I couldn't figure out how to mount it, so I come up with a clamp and hammered out some little brackets, and it's nice and stiff, it's in there pretty good. And during the test drive, this compartment didn't get too warm, or even the lid above. This pipe got hot, but it's not touching anything, and you expect that. But that was nice, so I was pleasantly surprised. But I think I'll still put some flashing on the lid. And then, so right down in there, there's the pull starter. And then right down in here is the fuel valve and the choke. And then if take this off, set it aside. You can see the throttle cable right there is coming up. And then right here, this is all part of the setup, so it was already there, and I rigged up the nut. And then over here is the return spring. So you can see I made a little bracket right there, bolted it to the muffler housing, and got a spring. And there's also a spring up in the front here. I'll show you this in more detail later, but there's the throttle arrangement. So you've got that spring plus the one at the engine, and it snaps right back, no problem. I worried a lot about how this throttle would hook up, but it was one of the easier things to do, surprisingly. The kit comes from Northern Tool for all that up front. So, and then down in here, it's a little tight, but there's enough room. You can see the disc brake down in there, and there's the torque converter. Alright, so, and then here's the Zeus fitting, in one of the rear. And you can see in here how they come through. There's another one up here. So, that makes for a quick disconnect, and I like these because you don't need a screwdriver, no tool in your pocket. Just give it a little half twist. And then this is balsa strips that I can shape and sand, and then I'll ultimately Bondo that and fiberglass it with some resin, and it'll paint it up real nice. Okay, that should be enough for this video, and then I'll show you more about the other stuff.